Welcome back, everyone, to Curse of the Vistani, episode 23. When last we left off, you guys fought some scarecrows, and you ended up beating them, and you ended up burying the two people who lived there at the farm, and searched the house for some cool items, and you got a spice pouch and an eye patch. And you also found a new friend, a tiny little scarecrow. Um, Not easily. Uh, I mean, he could study him, but yeah, the constructs like that. He does make constructs, but that's a bit higher level. Yeah, that is your scarecrow. That is what he sounds like. What? You don't like it? For for the record, that is a clip of Rue. uh, uh, that's to give you an idea of kind of what Luffy-kun sounds like. He when he tries to communicate, it's mostly just like little growls like that. Uh, yes. All right. Uh, mhm. Or summoned. She Menelenka. Yes, Melody, it's recorded. Melody was looking very forward to hearing you guys react to that, to the growl, and she missed it. So yeah, Lily did not like it. Everyone else loved it. Oh yeah, how do I do that? Okay. Oh, really? It always messes up whenever it updates. Yep, no device connected. Which one is it supposed to be? Is that it? talk, guys? No, that's not doing it.
Two.
All right,
My
that should
side
fix
had
it.
no mic,
Test,
but it has
test.
Discord.
Oh, that's not doing me too, is it? No, it's not. Okay, so that should be fine now.
Can you
Thank
hear
you
us
for
now,
letting me
Melody?
know, Melody.
Now my stream can now hear me.
Well,
I
that's
didn't
good.
realize my microphone wasn't actually detecting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that people can actually hear, I'm glad we got that sorted out at the start of the stream instead of like halfway through.
Yep.
All right. So, you guys are in the kitchen eating your breakfast. And you have looted what you can. You guys gonna hang out? You gonna set out on the road?
I used some of my newly acquired spices from my bag of spices.
Yes.
Because that was a thing.
Yeah. Keyword's handy spice pouch.
Yes.
I believe is what it's called.
Yep.
Survival roll.
That
Is
was
that
my
for your
cooking
breakfast?
check.
Ah.
How good was breakfast?
It was above average.
It was okay. It was
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
It did okay.
No bonuses this time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do?
Not a clue.
Well, we need to send a message back.
Mm-hmm.
So we can either do a courier or...
Did we rest, by the way?
Yes,
Yeah.
you did a long rest.
Yes.
I don't know if I clicked it last time.
Let me see here.
Here's a question. How are we going to do a carrier if there's nobody around?
Well, we would have to go back towards the mansion and get a courier, I think, from the mansion, maybe. Or we'd have to try to get one from the town.
Yeah, but the town's a long way away, isn't it?
Yeah.
How far back is the rat estate?
I think.
Wasn't
Wasn't
it like
the rat
at
estate
least
2 days?
at least a day or 2 days? Yeah, something like
I
that.
think would probably be 3 days to get back to the.
To the rat
Or are we
estate.
3 days away?
To the rat estate is at least a day.
At least a day.
It's
Day
definitely
and a
more
half.
than 120 feet, correct?
Yes, way more than 120 feet.
Dang it.
So if you look at the map,
I was going to say, is there any other establishments?
Yeah, I don't have
so
Animal Messenger as a spell, sadly.
You guys are in the yellow circle right now, and the rat estate is the purple circle. So you'd have to go back a ways past like where you fought the wolves and all that. All right. So you guys gonna set out then?
Which direction? I take it there's, well, from what I'm seeing on the map, there's no other small settlements along the way.
Not really, no.
Okay, so what do we want to do?
Well, I think we needed to continue on towards the town, did we not?
Yeah, that was your goal, was to continue on to Donnelly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe from Donnelly we can get a message out? It's a ways, but...
Also, if you happen to hear a lot of noise, which just happening in my room, it's the baby gate for Coda.
I
It's
couldn't
attached
hear
to
it.
my door frame.
Yeah, we couldn't hear a thing.
We couldn't hear it, so you're
Okay.
fine. Yes, I'd say maybe press on.
Yeah. Kellen also agrees that you should press on forward.
Sounds good.
And we'll figure it out on the way.
Yep.
Hopefully this adventure is a little less eventful.
All right, so you guys head out. You head out of the house and grab your cart of horses and goods, a little bit of food that you pilfered along the way, and you set out once again. So you're approaching the edge of the farmstead, and you're heading on the road. To your right would be going back towards the mansion and towards Rockford, and to your left would be going towards Donnelly. So which way would you like to go?
Donnelly, please.
Yeah, Donnelly was our objective.
Okay. So you guys start heading towards Donnelly. You turn left. You guys travel for a little ways, and before too long, you see a woman walking down the road, dressed in like white robes, and it looks like some sort of wolf woman. And she is waving at you guys, trying to get you to stop.
Can we get a better look at her before we stop? Like, what is
Investigation.
her state?
Or
Does she look
perception.
worn? Does she look like she's
Yeah.
rolled into?
Go ahead and roll a perception.
Okay.
Alright.
Apparently, I'm not seeing much.
I got a 10, which is middle of the road.
I also need to pull up Kellen's sheet.
Yeah, I'm mainly trying to immediately try to get any kind
If
of
she's
reasoning of
dangerous.
why she's trying to flag us down. Like, has she run into trouble? Does she just look trouble
Right.
worn? Does she look?
Okay.
Apparently,
You know.
Firedale sees some stuff.
Well, there you go.
Kellen's perception is... Where is that? +3. So he gets a 17. Alright, so with those rolls, when you look at her, she's dressed in kind of like nice robes, kind of like holy garb. Like church holy garb type of thing. She doesn't look like too run down, but she's not clean. She's definitely been traveling.
Okay. Well, very, very cognizant of the fact that she is a holy woman and I am a tiefling. Saflin is gonna kind of glance over and just kind of be all smiles and be like, "Hello, how are you doing?" and just kind of waving. And,
Hello. Oh, thank goodness. I'm looking for someone. I was wondering if you could help me. I'm
what
looking.
they look like?
Well, it's a girl, and she is a tabaxi. And I've never actually seen her myself before.
Glances over at Lilia briefly.
Oh, that's her. I think that's her. She's who I was looking for.
Just
And
gonna look
she
at her a
points
little
at-
confused.
Yeah, so she points at Lilia. Like, I've been looking everywhere for you. I had a dream that I needed to help you.
And can I do an insight check on this woman?
Yeah, go ahead.
Meanwhile, I know exactly what's going on.
Okay, I know nothing.
All right.
Son knows something,
Saflin,
maybe.
you can't tell anything.
Yeah.
You
said
believe
it's
her
an
100%.
insight check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do an insight check, and looking at her a little confused.
So with 17 and 20, she seems completely truthful. Oh, thank goodness. I knew if I just had faith that I would find you. Can I step in? She's asking
I mean, I
permission
think
to.
Everybody
we
else?
probably
Climb
paused
inside
on the
the-
side of the road while we were having
Right.
this conversation.
Right.
So.
So she's asking permission to step inside the cart with you guys.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
look around
glance
at
over at
everybody
Lily
else.
and be like, "This is your call. She's here for you."
It's up to you guys. I don't want to cause trouble.
Well, okay. Well, I had a dream, which I believe my deity gave to me, and told me to come look for this woman. That she was struggling and needed some guidance.
That's a little scary.
Would you? And Saflin's gonna glance at Lily and be like, "Would you prefer to have this conversation alone, or do you want us here? This seems like it might be personal."
I guess I'll look at her and be like, "Do you want to take a walk a little ways away so we can talk?"
Oh, sure. I guess that's all right.
I mean, I was gonna
'Cause
offer to walk away a little bit, but that's fine.
Well, you guys are all in the cart. It would be kind of rude for me to just make you all walk away. So I'll walk off with her. Is there a tree that we can sit by and talk for
Yeah,
a minute or
there's
two?
some trees next to the road that you could go and sit down in.
Okay, so then I guess I'll lead her over a tree to the nearest big tree under some shade, and I'll sit down and look up at her.
Thon ignores what's going on and plays with Mora and Lufikin.
While this is going on, I'm gonna kind of sit down with the others and pull out the cupcakes.
Okay.
And propose a round of cupcake roulette while we're waiting.
All right.
Cupcake roulette.
So what's the other cupcake? You have normal cupcakes, and what's the other one?
We have a chroma cupcake and we have normal cupcakes.
Right, which is breathing some sort of dragon breath, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
the chromas.
Yeah. Okay.
The only one
color
that
and
we
I think
know
duration, right?
is red so far, but it's random. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the gooey center is the random color.
All right. So as you guys are playing your roulette, Saflin, or not Saflin, Lilia, and this woman who has yet to introduce herself, by name, walk over to a tree and sit down and start chatting. She introduces herself as Neffy. My name is Neffy. I serve the god Saloon, and I believe she gave me a vision in the form of a dream to come and seek out you, and to help guide you. Is there something you need guidance about? The dream wasn't all that specific.
Maybe. I've been really struggling, I guess. Not like anybody of them actually know. Here's me actually crying, getting into it. I've kind of been questioning my own deity lately, because I don't find that she's guiding me in the way that I need.
I see.
I'm rather scared of death. I've had too many people leave me, including my parents, and it was hard. My goal is to be able to help people and prevent it, and there's just been too much death.
I know what you mean. I lost my mother when I was very young as well.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is.
Doesn't help that the nasty man the other day said he wished she was dead.
Oh, that's
She is.
horrible.
Yeah, he was really grumpy, and I fixed his wheel, and he was still angry, didn't thank me, and then said he wished she was dead.
Well, that's so horrible. I'm so sorry that happened.
Yeah, I kind of have been struggling. It's slightly scary that you had an inkling of that.
Yeah, I like I said, it Saloon gave me a dream that you would need help. So I am here to help. Can I have your hands? And she holds
will-
out her hands.
And I'll grab her hands and look at her kind of confused.
I'm gonna try and sense your aura, if that's all right.
Oh, okay. I've never had anyone do that, but okay.
So she closes her eyes, and just kind of focuses, kind of in silence for a minute. You don't really feel anything happening, but after a couple minutes, she opens her eyes again and says, "I see. You seem to be at war with yourself."
Yeah. I'm finding it hard.
It's
Not
as if
succeeding, it feels like I'm useless.
it's as if you're in two halves and they're clashing against each other.
A little.
Um,
It's frustrating.
from what I could sense, it seems like you're part cleric and part druid.
Yes.
Okay.
I went that route because my adoptive parents were druid and cleric.
I see. But it seems like your druid half is getting in the way. Like you want to be your mind is wanting to be cleric, but your body is pulling you towards druid and you're rejecting it.
I can feel that.
There is
I
a
have been
way,
for a while.
if you're open to it, I could probably help with that. It won't be easy. It would require great strength.
Okay, can you maybe explain what would
I
happen? What I'd
I
need
want
to
to
do?
help you. If your druid half is causing so much trouble, how would you feel about getting rid of it? Expelling it?
Well, it might upset my parents.
Well, you would still be part druid, but you would be you're warring with your druid half, and it's not healthy. It wouldn't be expunging, like, you're still born druid and cleric. That will never change. But the path you follow is what will change. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does make sense.
I will warn you that this will not be an easy process. You're gonna feel sick for a while. But I believe I can help you to become one with yourself again. If you'll let me.
Please. I don't like this feeling.
Alright, I will help you. It's going to be a process. It's not something that can happen quickly. Shall we go back with the others? In order to do this, I may have to tag along with you for a day or so.
May I ask you one question though first?
Sure.
Please don't tell them how I've been feeling.
Okay.
I'll nod and get up and hold up my hand to her.
She grabs your hand, and you guys start walking back to the carriage. Meanwhile, while all that is happening, Saflin, how many cupcakes do you have?
I had 4 cupcakes. We're now down to 3.
Okay,
The
so
first one didn't do anything.
All right, so you've been doing that. I was gonna actually have a
No,
Roleplay
we
of
only
that.
did one try. I was gonna let you do the rest.
okay. So there's 3 left, and 1 is the chroma.
Yes.
All right, so anyone who wants to try can try for the next one. So San did the first one, right?
Son tried for the
Okay.
one of the 4, and it didn't do anything. So we're trying again.
Okay, so you offered one to Callan. He's like, sure, I'll try. And so he's going to roll a d3. I have a number in my head, and if he gets that number, then it will be the chroma. All right. So he's looking at all of these cupcakes, and he's like, I'll take this one. No. Maybe this. No. It's such a hard choice. This one, definitely this one. No. This one. He picks up the second one, and he, like in one swift motion, he grabs it, picks it up, and just bites into it.
I feel like Curio would grab the one that's left over.
And he takes a bite of it. He's like, tasty. And nothing happens.
He gets one of the normals.
He got one of the normals.
He got a normal one.
All right, so there are 2 left.
I feel like Curio would try one, and Son would probably try another one.
All right. So we will have Curio try next.
I don't know if Moro can have the cupcakes. I don't know how this works.
Is there any chocolate in it?
I think so.
All right.
Then I would say probably not a good idea.
So
Don't
Curio.
know how chocolate is to wolves.
So Curio, seeing what Callan just did, walks up, grabs the first cupcake next to him, and takes a bite. And nothing happens.
Alright, so last cupcake.
So there's
Son,
one
go ahead and
cupcake
take
left. Alright. Let's see. So cupcakes.
How do I roll a d3?
Slash
roll
D3.
1d3.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, 1d3.
Although there's only 1 left, so you don't really need to roll.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. It's the only one
Okay.
left. The only way you'd have to roll is if someone decided to fight you for it, try to get it before you did.
I think the only one who will have to roll something is Meteor for the effect, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Yeah, because I was looking at those cupcakes in my inventory, and I'm like, these are gonna go bad soon.
Too bad we didn't have a preserving bag sort
Yeah,
of thing.
we don't have a bag of food preservation.
That would be nice if we did.
I don't think it actually exists. We might have to lean on Callan to invent one later.
What
Alright,
does it
what-
exist in it?
I don't think it exists now.
Alright, so roll a d10. An 8. Okay. So, for the next minute, you are able to breathe fire. Red fire.
That does not sound dangerous at all.
It's on Chase's, I assume Callan,
Alan.
around the cart, breathing fire at him repeatedly for a minute. Until it finally runs out, and Callan's like, oh thank God. My lungs are gonna pop out of my chest.
Alan, deep breaths.
I'm trying.
Control your breathing. I don't want to
Alright.
have to revive you.
So after
Or-
all this happens, you guys see Lilia and this other woman walking back up to the carriage.
Neffy, right? N-E-F-F-Y?
Yes.
Wanted to make sure I'm writing that down right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Lilia, what do you say when you guys come up?
Hmm. How should I do this? Do I want to be direct about it and just be like, guys, she's coming with us for a while. She has to help me with something. Or do I want to be like, yeah, no. Guys, guess you didn't get to meet her properly earlier. This is Neffy. Um, yeah, she's gonna be joining us for a bit. I need her help with some stuff.
Is everything okay?
Oh yeah,
Hopefully it
everything's
will be.
fine.
Okay.
All right. So she climbs up with your guys' permission. She climbs up into the cart, and you guys can head off again or do whatever you want.
First, I'll introduce her to Luna. I'll be like, Neffy, this is Luna. She's my partner, and I'm very, very close with her.
Well,
And Luna will put
hello.
her head to Neffy and look for pets.
Hi, Luna.
I found her as she
Such
was
a
a
nice
kitten.
kitty.
She was very, very sick.
And she
I raised
also
her.
sees Moro as like, and you have a direwolf as well. And she being a wolf herself, or part wolf.
Yeah, that is our friend Son's companion.
Moro growls softly.
Her name's Moro.
Oh, feisty are you?
Yeah, she is. Careful, she
I'll
might try to
hand
play
over
with
one
you.
of the scorched ears of corn as a travel snack.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll point at Kellen. And this is Stick. Mara thinks he's her play toy.
Oh, nice to meet you,
And I'll
Stick.
just laugh.
Thanks.
Not even calling him Kellen.
Yeah, my name's actually Callan. Thank you very much.
No,
Oh,
you're
I'm
Stick.
sorry. I didn't realize. No, it's okay. They just like
It's
to
a
call me
joke.
Stick.
Yes, because Mara Stick.
All right, so
I'll snuggle up to Luna.
Neffy does introduce herself to the rest of you, by the way. And she says, I'd actually like to prepare some tea for you, if that's all right, Lilia.
I'll look at her
While
kind of
they're
confused,
doing
but
that, I'm assuming we're just
nod.
gonna continually
Yeah.
travel.
Yep, you are still traveling.
you can prepare tea in a traveling vehicle?
Not easily, but it's doable.
Okay.
I mean, this
Need to
could
heat it
wait
up somehow.
until we stop somewhere, but
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she can heat water with her mind.
All right, so she
can Roro
starts.
fetch what?
So she starts preparing some tea. She grabs like the ingredients out of a pouch she was carrying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do another insight check since I'm being poked. Not a very good one.
What are you inciting?
Thon is poking Saflin and asking if she's suspicious.
Gotcha.
So
With a 10, she seems completely genuine to you.
Mhm. Okay. I'm just going to just kind of in the background just start playing my instrument. Not with any intent, just playing the instrument.
Okay.
Not to make a comment about how beautiful it is.
So just try to keep things kind of lighthearted.
Okay. All right. So
Meanwhile, you're all confused.
she puts all the stuff into the tea and pours some water into it, and then she sets it down, and then she casts prestidigitation, which she's using to warm up the tea.
Mm-hmm.
You can warm up water with prestidigitation.
You can preserve food with prestidigitation.
You can chill, warm,
keep
or
things warm or cold.
Yeah, you can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
So yes, she is.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So
she is
if,
using
for
that
instance,
to warm the tea.
If, for instance, we were able to get someone to enchant a box with prestidigitation, we could then use it as a box of preserving food.
Correct.
Or a bag with prestidigitation.
It'd be like a cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't we have like? No, never mind.
Prestidigitation only lasts for an hour though, so would that last longer?
You'd need an anchored enchantment.
I see. Gotcha. Cool.
How do you do anchored enchantments?
Probably not easily.
Not easily, no.
Okay.
Probably need someone specialized in it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, the tea warms up with her prestidigitation, and it is finally ready. And as she's handing it to you, who is driving the carriage? Aurora? Alright, so Aurora is up front driving the carriage, and a crow flies down and lands next to him. And caws. Ah! Ah!
And that's a little odd.
And he kind of hops up onto Aurora's lap, and Aurora's like, "Why, hello there. What do you want?" And it lifts its foot, and and Aurora is now able to see that there is a delivery. There is a note attached.
Okay.
So he stops the carriage. I think we got a message, guys. And he grabs the
Uh,
bird and unties it from the leg.
I
Are we in
will
some
use
Demon
a
Slayer crap?
charm of my. I will use a charge on my staff to cast Speak with Animals,
Okay.
so I can
Ah.
talk to the bird.
Delivery! Delivery!
We're in Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
So opening it up, this appears to be payment for your last quest.
Mm.
So in with the note is 15 gold.
Wait,
And
so
praise
the
for a
payment
job well
from
done.
the honey rats.
Correct.
Right, the rat estate was going to send notice to the guild that we'd completed our
Okay.
quest. That was
Correct.
correct.
Could we possibly use this bird as a messenger back to the...
That's why I
Guild?
cast Speak with Animals
Yes,
to
you could.
ask
Okay.
it if it can
Mhm.
send a return message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Right. Thank you. Hold on for a
That's
second.
my job.
I'll grab
Start-
out my book and my quill and hand it to Saplin.
All right. So while you guys are
Get the
doing
last
that,
page out.
so
Mhm.
while you guys are distracted doing that, Neffy is handing Lilia the tea, and she says, "All right, now let me explain to you what's going to happen." And she's saying this kind of in a hushed tone for only Lilia to hear. You guys can see if you can overhear, but the intent is for it to be hushed towards Lilia. So this is going to... it's not going to taste great, I'll admit. But it's going to help you to reject that part of you. And you're going to feel sick for a while. There's one very important thing that you need to keep in mind. For the next 24 hours, you need to not use anything from your druid half. Doing so
I'll
would...
get her and... Sorry, go ahead.
Doing so would not be good. You'd have to start all over again. And it
I'll
would
look
not be
at her
fun.
and nod.
So she hands you the tea. I assume you drink it?
Yep.
Alright.
Probably
So,
make a disgusted face at first, but just
Alright.
grin
yeah,
down
so
and
this
drink
tea is
it.
like very bitter. Like excessively
herby?
bitter. Yeah, herby and bitter.
Okay.
But for now, nothing has happened. But after a while, you will start to feel kind of feverish. You are not like bedridden or anything like that. You can still cast spells and such, but you are
Not feeling good.
yeah, you're not feeling good. And with this, I want you to mark off 2 of your first level spells and 1 of your second level spells.
Like spell slots.
Yes. As if you've cast them. So you're going to be down
1
2
second.
first and 1 second level spell for the moment.
Okay.
And you are also going to suffer 2 levels of exhaustion.
How would I mark that?
Let's see.
There should be a spot.
Yeah, there should be a spot. Let me...
It
try and find
basically
it.
just gives you disadvantage on your checks
On
until
everything.
it's gone. Yeah. On your saving throws and your checks and stuff.
Alright, so for
I
exhaustion,
think it's
first
an
level...
active condition. There you go.
Yeah, first level, you have disadvantage on ability checks. Second level, your speed is halved. So that is the 2 things you need to keep in mind. So half speed
Disadvantage
and
on
disadvantage
all
on
my...
ability checks.
Yeah, if
Okay,
you look
what's
under conditions, under your hit points on the character sheet, you can add an active condition and you can add exhaustion at the bottom and you can say 2 for level 2.
Where's that at?
On the character sheet, right underneath the hit point box, it has conditions.
Ah, okay.
That's where it is.
Gotcha. Yep.
I
That
don't
should take care of that for
see
you.
So
Exhausted.
click where it says, yeah,
It's at the
it's
very
all the way at the bottom.
Oh,
Yes, there
okay.
you go. All right.
So does that mean it takes into account when I roll automatically, or do I still have to do that?
It might.
Do a test roll.
That I'm not sure. Yeah. Do a
Now-
test roll of Arcana. That's an ability check, right?
It asked me if I wanted to. Okay, also I'll just do disadvantaged.
Correct.
Or should I do it normal and see?
If it prompts it, then do disadvantaged. Okay.
Yeah, the prompt might be taking it into account in case you have something that would cancel it.
Right. Okay, so the way you get rid of exhaustion is by resting. A long rest will reduce your exhaustion by 1 level.
Okay, so then I'd go down to level 1.
Correct. So at your next long rest, you'd reduce it to 1. Next long rest after that, you'd be back to normal.
Do short rests do anything?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Okay.
I rolled
I
a
was thinking
20 to perceive this, by the way.
Okay.
I
So
was just gonna
were
say
you
I was
trying to
gonna take
listen in?
multiple naps.
I was.
Okay.
I was being nosy.
So with a 20, you overheard the whole thing.
Okay.
And San, I assume that was the same for you? San notices what is happening. She isn't going to react well.
If he notices.
If.
Yeah.
So with an 11, you couldn't really make out too much of what was being said. You could hear a word or two there, here and there, but for the most part, you were not able to.
If
Sure.
San were to look at Saflin, they'd notice that Saflin does not look overly concerned. Saflin just might have an expression of, oh, that's interesting, and not reacting otherwise.
All right. So the bird. You've written up a note?
Yes.
All right. So what is the note going
Scrawled
to say?
something quickly explaining that Tafgar and his wife unfortunately met with an incident and that there were a bunch of scarecrow constructs in their field that were preying on people and they have been dispatched.
Okay. All right. So you attach that to the crow?
Yep.
And he says, "Thank you.
Bye, fly safe."
Bye-bye." And he flies away. All right. So you keep traveling for a bit. And Lilia does start kind of like sweating a little, like getting a little feverish. And it probably would be noticeable.
I would probably make my way over tomorrow at some point while I have Speak with Animals up.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of murmur under my breath.
Okay.
Tomorrow has pretty good hearing.
Yeah.
And just be like, what's going on? It's a human thing. We need to stay out of it. It's going to be fine.
And you're saying that tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
Because Moro tends to freak out, right?
Moro does tend to freak out. Moro likes information.
Okay. Moro says, "But pup."
It's temporary. It needs to happen. You know how sometimes when you eat something really bad and you have to take really gross medicine to get it out?
Moro no like medicine.
That's what happens. So
Moro no like Wolf Lady.
Lilia is sick, and Wolf Lady is gonna help her get better.
Wolf Lady bad?
Wolf Lady is not bad. Wolf Lady is helping.
No trust.
Moro no trust.
Moro no trust. San say Wolf Lady bad.
Thawne doesn't know what Wolf Lady is doing. I heard the entire explanation. I heard what they said to each other. It's okay.
But San trusts. San always right.
We are here if something goes wrong. I'm just saying no sudden reactions here.
Okay.
Just wait. Yes, you
Moro
can tell
tells
San.
San. So Moro
Yes.
goes over and in broken English tries to convey the same thing to you, San.
Lilia, okay. Just trust.
Lilia's sick. Take medicine. Get bad things out.
Yeah. That's about right.
Pretty much.
And
I'll just snuggle up with Luna.
You could, yeah, I was gonna say, Luna's probably kind of curled up on Lilia. And
Actually, my image would be me curled up with my head on her stomach.
all right, that works.
Just
And
snuggling her.
Staflin, you could probably also hear Luna like saying, "It's okay, I love you, I'm here," type of thing.
Mhm.
Well, to me, I would have probably already been talking to Luna in my head, letting her know it's okay. She's a good lady.
Right.
Like, I know that San being raised by the wolves and Moro being from wolves and a wolf would likely not understand
Right.
the dynamic here. I guess would be the
Mhm.
word. Weird human things that we just kind of need to leave alone.
Right. So, you guys keep traveling, and after a bit, Aurora pipes up and says, guys? What's that?
Okay. Try to see what he sees. Oh wow, nat 20.
I'm not gonna even bother
Someone do
getting up because I'm
perception.
just like, bleh.
Yeah. Someone do perception for Aurora as well, please. And Callan is +3.
Oh, another nat 20. I got
Uh,
one and Aurora got one. Aurora's bonus is slightly better than mine though.
Oh, whoops, that was not supposed to be Curio.
That's awesome.
That was supposed to be Callan.
All the good perceptions.
So Callan got an 8, so he doesn't see crap. Aurora, being up front,
The
and
rest of us have
Saflin,
got
who...
this.
Saflin and Curio, and... Oh, yeah, wow, all of you.
Yeah, I think
have
we all got
above
this.
20. So you all peek your head out, and you see a group of boars charging down the road towards you.
Can I hear the boars? How much time has passed?
Yes, you can hear and see the boars. Oh, you're talking about probably like an
10-minute
hour.
duration.
Probably
So
like
it
an
wouldn't
hour
be
has
up anymore.
passed since then. So no,
Alright,
it would not
be
be
up
up
anymore.
All right, so I'm going to bring you guys to here.
Time for a hunting party. I'm gonna look at Moro, even though I can't speak to Moro specifically anymore, and be like, it looks like it's time for a hunt.
All right, so as you guys are going down the road and the boars are coming towards you, you're all still in the vehicle, and the boars come up to the vehicle, and they start kind of surrounding it and like butting up against it, and like sniffing. And they're like jostling the cart because they like not being gentle at all and kind of spooking the horses.
Okay, let's see here. I think I'm gonna expend another charge from the staff. Put up speak with animals again.
Okay. Alright, so as you cast Speak with Animals, basically what you can hear from them is, food! I smell food! Gotta be here somewhere. I smell it.
Yeah, Saplin's gonna be like, "Hi, what you looking for?"
Ah! You food? Kind of butts
No,
the carriage.
I'm not food. I'm sorry.
You have food! Food!
Depends. What do you want?
Hungry.
What you eat?
Food.
Obviously.
The board clan
let's see.
scene in the movie
I don't have any
Prince
cupcakes.
and food?
Would it be able to smell food in the bag of holding?
I don't think so.
There's probably like scraps of food out in the carriage
Well,
from
and
like when you
I
guys
still
are
have
eating
the
and
scorched
snacking.
ears of corn in my backpack, so I can toss them some of those. Yeah, I'll toss some of the ears of corn
Okay.
and toss those out away from the cart.
So at this point, by the way, the horses have been spooked, and
I will also
the cart
try
has
to
come to
soothe
a
the
stop.
horses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're scaring our horses. Here, I'm gonna put some food over there for y'all. No, and I'll throw that food in the distance and see if they get away from the horses.
Horses food?
No, the horses are not
Horses
food.
are not food.
Food! And they go, two of them go chase off.
Yeah, I'll throw some of the corn over here.
Okay, so probably the ones that were on that side go to that. And then the two on the other side are still butting against the
I would have broken them in
vehicle.
half.
Broken what in half?
The ears of corn.
Oh, I didn't throw all of them.
Oh, okay.
I had like 6 left.
Okay.
I didn't throw the entire bundle.
Don grabs her rapier. Alright, so as they're butting up against it, you hear a crack.
Like, hey, can you stop messing with the cart, please?
Food! Food!
I'm not gonna feed you if you break my house.
And now these boars are coming back because they've devoured that one. Food! 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 Food!
Do you have animal friendship on your staff?
I do.
Okay.
It only targets one animal, though.
And as you guys are trying to figure out what to do, if you look up
Big
ahead,
guy up front. Yeah.
There's
another
more.
group is coming.
With a
Yeah,
big
it's
bad
like-
guy.
I tried to convince them to leave. They're not leaving. Like, I gave you the food that we were able to spare.
Alright. Yeah, they just seem like they really want food.
I don't have anything more for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Even
I
with
feel like
you
taking-
talking to them, that seems to be the only thing that's on their mind.
I feel like taking off the ring, passing it to Saffron, and just saying fear, and curling back up with Luna.
I can't use it. My
It's not an
attunement slots are
attunement.
full.
It's not an attunement item.
Oh.
No, it is not attunement.
I see. I was
So,
about
yeah.
to just try to do a sleep, but that works.
So yeah,
Um.
I'll take off my ring and just hold it out to Saffron. You want to fear them?
I
holding it out.
suppose.
Alright,
Yeah.
so Are you doing it from inside or?
It's a
I'll
So you're
stick
30
getting
my
outside?
head out the
cube.
cart.
Okay.
Stick my head out so that they can see me.
No,
And I'll be like,
okay.
I said leave. And then go
Okay.
ahead and do fear.
I'll just do this so I think it
Yep.
makes it pop up for you.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Creature's worst fears. Each creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or drop whatever it is holding, become frightened for the duration. What is the duration?
I think it's like 1 minute.
It would be whatever the spell is for the fear spell.
Like I'm saying it from what I read, I think it's 1 minute.
30-foot cone.
Concentration up to 1 minute.
Okay.
Yep.
Might give us enough time
What
to get away.
direction are you doing this? Because it is
Where
a
am I
30-foot.
casting it?
It is a 30-foot cone. So, let's see.
I'd probably try and get it close to that big boar, but
Yeah, because I wouldn't want it to be on the horses, so I wouldn't be targeting the ones immediately around us. I'd be targeting the ones in front.
Right. So,
And it's range stealth 30 feet, so if I'm at the front of the cart,
it would be
making a
two of
cone
these.
approximately there would be the starting point of that cone.
Okay, so 15, 20, 25, 30. I think like that. Approximately.
and then angled a little bit. Yeah.
Alright, so that's about the range. You could wait for
Yeah, but
those
then you'd
ones to come
spook the
into.
horses. Doesn't that spook the horses though?
Yeah, I would leap out probably and go from here.
Okay.
Well, because it said self, so yeah, I would need to move to change that.
Okay.
So yeah, I would leave the cart.
All right. And we'll say even this one backs up as you come close to it. And so you get all of those ones in your fear cone. And so they take their action to run away, and they kind of
Did they fail the wisdom save?
yeah, they definitely fail.
Okay.
They're boars, they ain't gonna save for crap. They kind of scatter in all directions.
Enough for us to maybe get through.
Can I turn around, still keeping within line of sight of all of these, but kind of glance over my shoulder at the ones that are close to the cart, probably these two.
Okay.
So those are ones I could easily see.
All right.
Be like, are you going to leave? And I would like to try to intimidate them into going away.
Roll an intimidation check.
Okay. Do I get advantage because they can understand me or no? It's okay if not.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Okay. So I'll roll again.
Well, I
So
would say
20.
yes. You intimidate.
Because I have Speak with Animals up.
They get a nat 1.
Okay.
They really are scared. Do they just drop over dead?
So you say something ferocious to them in boar tongue, and they're like, "No food here. Run!" So you have 2 left to deal with.
Wouldn't it be funny if with that nat 20 or that nat 1 they just like were so scared they dropped over dead?
It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way.
These 2 boars, seeing that they're the only 2 left, are actually going to turn tail and run away as well.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, if they still didn't leave, I was gonna use my disguise self or minor illusion to make
Flee!
myself look terrifying.
So yeah,
Let's just hope they
as
don't
they're
chase
all
after us.
running away, you just hear a combination of flee, flee, and food, food, flee, food, flee, food.
Lee and food.
So
I'll soothe the horses and be like, okay, they backed off, let's get out of here.
okay. So
Question now. Since it is a third level, is it still one charge?
For fear?
Yeah.
It says fear third.
It
Or
should say how
does
many
that-
charges it takes. It should have
It says one charge.
And
Okay,
it's
then
one
yeah,
charge.
one charge.
Okay.
Yeah, if
I'll
it has
mark it
like a
off.
1C, then that's one charge.
No, it literally says one charge.
Okay, perfect then.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So the boars scatter. San is clutching her rapiers like, no food? Aww.
I'd rather not fight.
They were aggravating the horses.
And
But
what was
food!
that crack?
Meat!
What was that crack? I hope it's not the cart.
Yeah, we need to make sure the cart's not damaged.
And I can't mend.
Okay.
All right. So you guys hop out of the cart
We can non-magically repair.
and
Just takes a little bit.
you take a little walk around the cart. You see like a broken board here and a broken board there. Like nothing significant, but then you come over to that side and you see what cracked was the wheel.
Okay. So can we see if we can repair this wheel any kind of way?
So Callan does have mending.
Thank you.
So I was gonna
Callan.
say, if nothing else, I have sovereign glue. We can make the sturdiest wheel that ever was.
True. Thon looks for boars.
Wheel will not stop rolling.
All right, San, roll me a investigation check. 15. All right. With a 15. Let's see. Sorry, give me 1 second. You do find one of the boars over here. Off by itself. Oops. Do that.
He fleed in the wrong direction.
He's just kind of in this bush, like, sniffing around it for food.
I'm hoping not attacking it.
All right.
And they all come
You are able to
angry.
get, like, right up next to it without it noticing you.
Oh,
With a nat 28.
that's awesome.
All right, so what are you going to do? All right, you're going to attack it. A 22 definitely hits. All right, so
I hope they don't all come
you do
back
8
out.
piercing damage and 5 sneak attack damage for a total of 13. And you do kill it.
Oh, meat.
So you have a dead boar.
I'm gonna harvest the meat.
Food, woot.
Do we have to roll for that, Meteor? Or is that just you just kind of
Yeah,
let it happen?
roll survival to see how well you do. 10. You get some meat. You weren't able to. You got like a lot of fat on there. But you were able to get probably like 2 hams worth.
I'm rolling this for shits and giggles because I want to see what I'd get because I
Okay.
have a positive. Oh, but I'd have to be disadvantaged, right?
Yep.
Since it's just for shits and giggles, can I just see what it would be in normal
Yeah. What are you rolling for?
survival? Because I'm
Yeah,
positive
I'm
in
just
it.
rolling to see as well. It doesn't matter because Son
Gotcha.
was the one doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten it anyways.
Okay.
I was just curious if I could have probably done better.
All right.
But
So
nah.
while Son is off killing it, Callan is casting mending, and you guys hold the wheel back in place and just kind of back together. And he also does it on the other the other parts that got dinged up a bit. And so the carriage is now repaired.
Okay.
The boars aren't coming back.
Set off.
You do not see any other boars at the moment.
Let's get back on the road, but try to keep a good eye out in case we run into any more.
A 25. So Moro's looking for boars. Okay.
Sorry, I meant that is me. I
Oh,
was
you?
Still clicking
Okay.
on Mara.
Okay. All right. So with a 25, you are looking around and you spot another boar that is big over there, over to your left.
Lord Dakota. Okay, we need to go deal with Lord Dakota.
All right, so are you going to try and get after that one as well? The carriage is fixed.
Well, it running over us and ramming into us likely would not be a good deal.
All right, stealth 28. You're able to get right up next to it again.
Meteor, can we say that we're still kind of moving forward while this is going on?
Uh,
Probably slower
Just
so that
Yeah.
we don't
slowly
lose track of
driving.
Son, but yeah, at least progressing.
yeah, you guys can be slowly moving forward as she is doing that. All right, so 16 hits for 4 damage plus 9. So 13 total damage. And that is not going to kill it. This one seems a little tougher than the other ones.
Can I say I'm poking my head out the window and I'm going to see if this will work.
Okay.
Yeah. Even disadvantaged.
All right.
That's nice.
So you got a 21 to hit and
With
did
11
11
radiant.
more radiant damage. And that does kill it.
I'm just like, screw you, boy. I don't want to deal with you today. And just like flop back over.
All right. So go ahead and roll to harvest.
I'm just magic missile. Boom. you're
Survival
dead.
21.
Flop.
Okay. So you as you are trying to loot this boar, you noticed something odd. This boar has a bow tied around its neck.
Just kill someone's pet.
So are you still cutting it up? No, run. All right, so San sees the bow and books it back over to the
Do
cart.
I need to spare the dying?
You could?
Well, it would be on saving throws, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
John
technically.
went for lethal,
Uh,
so
But it was
That's-
already down before Meteor. She'd said that before Meteor even.
so she hasn't started carving it up yet.
What I was trying to say is Moro did that before you said that it was even down.
Right.
So would it even have to count?
So what I'm saying is, because she hasn't carved into it yet, I'll say yes, it's on death saving throws at the moment. It is down for the count, but you could potentially do something.
Since the bow is there, and the bow is not an item that you're wanting us to loot, I'm guessing.
It's like a decorative bow, like
it's someone's pet.
a pink bow on it. Like
Guess
wrapped
You just
around its neck.
murdered somebody's pet.
So I'm guessing I notice the bow when it goes down. So I hop out.
So San was the one who noticed it, but she would have reported
San noticed
back.
when she went to start cutting into it.
Right. So San, you looted the first one for sure. This one, you said you were running away as soon as you saw the bow.
So I'll hop out, run over as well as I can.
Okay.
Where are my Spare the Dying? Is that still going to be a disadvantaged? Because it's a cantrip.
It's
cantrips,
no.
I believe, just happen
Nope. Because that's not an ability check.
in some cases. Yeah.
Roll normal.
Creature becomes stable. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs. Okay, so
Now, here's a question. Staff of Healing. That's not an ability roll for me too, right?
correct.
Or
That
is
is a
it?
spell. Remember, you are down spell slots. It is midday
Yes, but
right now.
what I'm saying is my Staff of Healing.
Ah, yes. Right.
Do I have to roll that at disadvantaged?
Nope. It is a spell. It's not an ability check.
It's a charged up spell that's already been cast. When it was put into the staff, you're just releasing it, essentially.
Yep. Okay. So, you heal it for 8 then. So it is now up, and it's kind of scared at the moment.
Do I still have Speak with Animals up from the boar intimidation?
I don't
Yes,
have
it would still be
my-
up.
I don't have my ring, so I can't talk to it and say I'm so sorry.
So
I
it's
would
going
be
to be
like,
slowly
please-
backing up.
Yeah, I'd be like, it'd be in your best interest to leave. My friends are a little trigger happy here.
Scary! And it's going to
Yeah.
run away.
Yep.
Sorry! Yells San.
I'll go down on my knees and put my head to the ground and be like, I'm sorry. We just got attacked
You
by
looked
boars.
like food!
And I'll slowly walk back over to the cart, though I'm putting myself here and crawl back in and snuggle with Luna.
Sorry.
Well, we're all down at the bottom, so...
Oh yeah, I forgot I put you guys down there. I had it ready. Alright, so
I'll
you
crawl
guys
back
get
in
back
and
in
cuddle
the...
up.
You guys get back in the cart and start on your way again with 2 hams.
And I'm gonna grumble, things are testing me today.
San pouts that she couldn't get more food. You're doing what?
I'll just grumble to myself, things are testing me today.
Safflin's just
And I'll
gonna
look
kind
up
of
at
look.
Neppy.
Safflin's just gonna kind of look over the group as a whole and be like, maybe we should look before we try to murder things going forward.
San says, well, I didn't know that the boar was owned. Not my fault. So you guys are continuing down the road, and about a minute and a half later, so not long at all, you see a farmer walking down the road calling out, Petunia! Petunia! Kevin!
Hi! We just saw a
Hi.
boar with a bow go that way.
You
Is it
saw my
yours?
boars?
Yeah,
You
it went in
Oh.
that direction.
My fence broke and all my boars got out. Oh. You said it went that way?
Yep.
Thank you so
Went
much.
where it ran.
Thank you. And he starts running that way as fast as he can.
Let's get out of here.
So it seems like all of the boars were his herd.
Well, at least only one is dead. Now we just move.
Should we hide this food in the bag of holding temporarily so it's not noticed?
He's already left, so you can do with it
he's gone.
whatever you want.
I got rid of him quickly.
At least maybe he'll think the boar got hurt trying to get out from the fence.
Could be.
I think the dagger marks might be pretty apparent on the one that you killed down there. So let's just keep moving. just saying.
And the teeth marks. Where were their teeth marks?
Morrow.
I gave Morrow the carcass after I killed it.
Oh.
Yeah, Morrow devoured it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he'll
The
just
first
think
one,
it's an animal.
not the big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So the big one was Petunia.
Yeah.
And
We don't know if
why?
the entire pack was the
My prize winning
farmers
boar!
or just that pack at the top that we didn't attack.
You trying
She's
to make
alive.
me feel guilty?
Did it have a flower attached to its ear?
Hey, Firedale.
It had a
No,
bow on
a
its
bow.
neck.
And I accidentally murdered its face.
I attacked it first, though.
And I was trying to intimidate the boars into leaving so we didn't attack them.
Yeah, she successfully did it too.
Yeah, I scared them off.
They all got scared away. None of them were even hurt. And then San decided to
spotted one.
chase after them.
Yeah, I rolled a very, very nice intimidate.
She's got a family of a wolf. I can understand.
Yep. And then after she killed the big one, she realized it had a bow on its neck.
Well, I didn't kill it.
Oh
It
yeah,
was on
you
death.
downed it.
Yeah. Well, no. Technically, I stabbed it. Lilia killed it.
True.
Not
Yeah,
me.
I'm like,
Not
fuck
my
you.
fault.
You
I
went
don't
to
want
carve it up and you
to.
saw that it had a bow because it was owned. Okay.
Yep.
It wasn't my fault.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry I'm late.
No problem,
I
Firedale.
fixed it. It's alive. It's got health.
It's now scared of me.
Okay. So, you guys hurriedly continue on your way, kind of like rushing the horses a little bit, like, go, come on, let's get out of here. He doesn't know who's us.
Kind of just urging them along gently while I have speak with animals up. Be like, let's
Right.
keep moving until we find more. We don't want to find more. Let's just keep going.
All right, so you guys head out. You never see the guy again. And you have two
That's
hams.
his farm.
Yeah, you pass a farmstead on your left, and you're like, okay, just keep going. And you see a broken fence.
Yep.
Where the boars probably got out. You're like, just keep going. Just keep going.
If we wanted to be kind people, we could repair the fence, but
You actually do see a farmhand there fixing the fence right then. Or attempting to fix it. Alright. San looks at Safi. San innocent?
San says nothing. We're gonna keep moving.
Maybe makes a noise.
I'll just curl back up with Luna and grumble.
Alright, so you guys keep heading out. It's getting to be about early afternoon. Sun hides from Oreo because he might not be happy.
Yeah.
We could have gotten away without hurting any of them.
Yeah. Saffron is just giving Aurora a look of commiseration, like, what is this?
And Neffy's just... Oh yeah, Firedale, you have a traveler with you. A wolf
Who is
person
assisting
named
Lilia
Neffy.
in something.
And
That nobody really knows about it except Safflin because she was being nosy and listened in.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. So as you guys are traveling, yet another thing appears. Aurora
By the
shouts
way-
out yet again. What?
I was gonna ask, do I get my ring back from Saflin?
I would pass it
Oh,
back if you wanted
Yep.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you held out your hand for it or anything, I would pass it back to you.
Oh, you use the animal fear.
Yep.
Mhm. I used that and I
Lily
used
is
Intimidate
too-
because the animal fear couldn't get all of them.
Because Lily is too not feeling well to give a crap about anything. She passed the ring to Saflin and be like, "Fear?" Question mark. Because
like,
it's
"Yeah,
not
sure."
it's not an attunement item. So like, have at it, please.
Yep. So I just used a charge.
So as you guys are going down the road, Aurora yells out, "That's a big shadow." And
Please don't be more boars. Saflin is just like saying
And-
that out loud.
Curio looks up in the sky.
yeah, and Curio, as roll perception for me, Curio.
I guess I need to open my character sheet, don't I?
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
That would help.
Let me know when 10 minutes have passed so I know that Speak with Animals is gone again.
It would have passed by now.
Okay.
Sorry, kind of speeding through the day.
Nope, that's fine. That's why I'm
ring
checking.
ring recharges, right? Just making sure.
I think most of our magical items recharge on the next day or something.
they usually recharge at night.
A certain amount. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
22.
All right, so Curio, with your 22 perception, you look up and see this big flying thing in the air, and you think to yourself, "Gosh, that looks familiar."
Please tell me
And
it's not a dragon.
It starts circling around the carriage, and then it drops down into the road.
A big thing that looks familiar.
Is that
Interesting.
an eagle?
This is a griffin.
Oh, interesting.
So don't
Here,
kill
but
it.
pet bird.
And this griffin seems very familiar to you, Firedale.
Seems very, very familiar to Curio.
Yes, to
Is this
Curio.
your
Okay.
pet burb?
You, as it gets closer, you remember having
Don't hurt it, I think I know it. Maybe.
You remember having eaten a cupcake and experiencing a griffin's life
Uh-huh.
through its eyes.
Oh.
And then again later, you had another dream about the same griffin.
It's the me in my dream me.
And so this griffin walks up and...
I wonder if it had dreams of me. Huh.
let's see. Griffins... Sorry, I'm looking for languages for a griffin. Which
I literally
lists
just
none.
had it. Hold on.
It lists no languages for a griffin.
It's an animal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can cast Speak with Animals again.
However, even though it can't really speak, Curio, you hear in your head, "Who are you?" And the rest of you just hear a...
I will spin around, shake my tail, and say I'm Curio. Who are you?
Curio. You guys are all just hearing bird noises the whole time, like an eagle screeching.
Is
And,
Curio
like,
screeching too?
sort of cooing a little bit. No, you're speaking normally, but you guys are talking like telepathically right now. Because you
So
seem to
everyone
have
just saw me spin
a
around, shake
connection.
my tail, and stare at it intently.
Yep. You can
Assuming-
be speaking out loud,
Yeah, I
you
would do
can-
that.
Yeah.
but
It asked
Yeah.
who I was.
you
Or what
might
I was.
you might not realize that they don't hear the same thing you're hearing.
I think from the weird looks on their face and all the stares I'm getting, I can assume it.
True. So
Here's the
Saflin is
question.
fishing out another ear of corn and gently handing it to Curio because Curio seems to be engaging with it and saying, "Please don't let it kill us."
Mm,
I'll
well,
say that too.
would-
Please don't kill us.
Here's a question. Would the
Mhm.
two of us that actually can connect with animals be that confused why he's speaking to it and we can't hear it?
probably less confused. You would still just be hearing bird noises and Firedeal talking to it, or
You would probably
Curio talking to it.
understand the intense staring.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you introduce yourself, and the Griffin says, "Curio. What is a curio?"
I'll
It's cat.
put my paw to my chest and say, me.
You. I see. I feel a connection with you. You.
You burp companion.
How
Cat
did you
burp.
see through my eyes?
I ate a cupcake.
Cupcake?
That's so blunt.
What is a
That's
cupcake?
Curio.
It's a
Yep.
cake that's made in a cup and it tastes sweet.
Speaking of cupcakes,
What's
you
a
did
cake?
have one of the cupcakes earlier, Curio.
It was a mythic cupcake. Yeah, we had Cupcake Roulette earlier with the last promo cupcake.
You did not get the chroma one, though.
No,
You got a normal one.
Oh.
we tried.
So it just seems curious about you at the moment, like trying to figure
I
out
know the
why
feeling.
you guys are connected like this, and you're trying to understand it. Like, I saw through your eyes too.
I had a dream I was flying as a griffin too.
I dreamt of a bushy tail.
I will spin around again and shake my tail. It is very nice.
Yes, that bushy tail.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's my proudest thing.
Why do I see these in my dreams?
Magic?
Magic.
And I'll shrug my shoulders and there was a question mark at the end of that word.
It was a very intelligent griffin.
Well,
All I'm gonna say here.
Griffins probably would be a bit more intellectual than your average
I mean, I'm
animal.
looking at the entry and they have an intelligence
It's okay,
score of
though.
2. But, I mean, this is a special one.
Yeah.
I mind Luna is
Smart
more
enough to have
intelligent
dreams.
like that too.
What is the intelligence of Moro and Luna? Out of curiosity. I actually don't see the intelligence on here.
Intelligence score
Moro
of 2
has
to
one more
3.
point.
One
Where
more.
are you seeing intelligence?
On the stats for the monster version.
The monster block.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either, actually.
For
2 to
Moro?
3 is animal intelligence.
Yeah.
But this
That's
is a
normal.
mythical creature, so
Yep. It's still an animal, but it's understandable. It's all good.
Basically means they act on instinct, mostly.
Yeah.
Normally. But there are exceptions.
A 4 to 5 is usually the first ones that get a minimum score for language development and use in terms of non-mental.
Luna's at a
Yeah.
3 then,
Okay.
if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this one is higher than that for these purposes.
This is a special griffin.
Yes.
Mhm. Just like Moro has been taught by San, and Luna has been taught.
The connection between Curio and the Griffin has given it a slightly higher intelligence. We'll say
Okay.
that. It is an interesting experience seeing through your eyes.
Flying's nice too.
Flying is nice. It's freeing.
Fluffy tails are nice too.
I just had to come and see you. Find out what you are.
I'll wave and say nice to see you too.
Oh, we're not gonna get a new companion?
Are you going to keep seeing through my eyes?
I don't know. It's not by my choice. It happens when it happens.
I see.
I hope I didn't make you fall.
No, I did not fall. But I traveled a long way. May I have a snack?
I did hand you one of the scorched ears of corn, Curio.
Does a griffin
I
eat
will
corn?
I will hop down from the carriage and walk over to it and offer it the ear of corn.
It does not seem interested in the ear of corn.
I'm
I'm
pretty sure
afraid of
griffins
that.
are carnivore.
Griffins eat horses.
It is going to go up to one of your horses, and it is going to swallow it whole.
That's a big griffin.
Well, we're never getting that security deposit back.
That's our horse.
Ah,
Oh yeah, it is a very big griffin.
delicious.
That's our horse. It's not security deposit.
Yeah, you guys do
Well,
own
it's
this
not our horse anymore.
No, it's the griffin's horse. I was gonna offer up the ham.
I didn't remember if we'd permanently purchased that horse or if we were still renting.
I
with
will
the
turn
event
around.
department.
Yeah, this was one of Peter's.
Okay.
So
I
you
will
acquired it
turn
from him.
around and look at Safi and say, Safi, it didn't want the ear of corn.
Well, hopefully one horse is all we need to
Maybe
drive this
another.
cart, or we're going to be in trouble.
Maybe another.
Question. Don't we
We
have
use those to
horses...
get around.
The
Don't
food?
we have horses in the patches?
Yes.
We're gonna have to use one in a minute.
I am still hungry.
Please don't eat our horse.
He wants meat, I'm assuming. Does anyone have a lot of meat?
I have the ham I just got.
Oh, there's things with tusks that are that way.
That way?
Yeah, there's big pigs that way.
I just
see.
want to point out, you're condemning them to die just like we did.
At least it's not us.
This is natural order of things.
I guess one horse will suffice. Fine, I shall be on my way then.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
You're not gonna ask its name?
He's Griffin.
It might have a name since it's mythical and seems to have actual language with you.
Oh, good point. I just referred to him as Griffin. What is your name?
Does he have a
Do
name?
you have a name? What are you?
I am Griffin.
Okay, he's
So
Griffin.
his name is Griffin. Okay.
I will
Stand
repeat it again.
corrected.
He's Griffin.
Okay, so to clarify for people, which Meteor can change, the horse patch on the robe of useful items, it's specifically a riding horse, not a draft horse.
Can still use it for one though if you need to.
Yeah, I'd
So
say you
just
can still use it.
Be
for
aware
one.
the stats are slightly different.
Yeah, it can be a riding horse.
Okay.
Or a draft horse, whatever. It
Maybe
would be able
just
to
make
it would be
sure-
able to pull this.
Okay.
Especially with another horse still doing half the work.
Yeah.
So, with that, the griffin is going to just kind of give you a little bow, and then he is going to jump into the air and fly away.
That was making me think of Buckbeak.
Bye.
Sorry, I mean Wither Wings.
And as you are waving goodbye to it, you see a feather slowly floating to the ground and landing at your feet.
I'll take the feather.
You
All
have an
right.
animal token.
So,
Yay.
Curio, I want you to add an item to your inventory. If you search for feather, you should see a
Inventory.
griffin's feather.
Manage.
So while holding or wearing this feather, you can harness the power of a griffin to cast the jump spell from it as a bonus action once per day.
Oh, I can jump really, really high.
But you can only target yourself when you do so. And while holding the feather, you gain a +2 bonus to perception checks that rely on sight.
But I do have to hold it, which is the rest.
You can hold it or wear it.
Okay.
Might want to turn that into a necklace.
Yep. Saflin will dig around in her backpack and see if she has a
Twine or
A
leather
cord.
strap. Cord.
cord or a strap. Yeah.
Well, I will give Safi back the corn,
Okay.
Put it back in the bag.
and I will take off one of the pouches for the horse and create us
Please
another
do that.
horse.
Please do that outside of the carriage. Imagine inside the horse.
That would be hilarious.
Suddenly, horse.
Please, I don't want to be.
So
death
yeah,
today.
Curio takes the robe out and is about to tear off a patch, and then you're just like, no, outside, please, outside. He's like, oh, okay.
Yep. Okay.
I don't want to be hoofed to death.
And so he rips off one of the horse patches, and into existence pops a new horse for you.
Yep. And it comes complete with all the accoutrements, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm. It has a saddlebag and everything. So
Yep.
you can take off the saddle if you want. You can leave it on.
Let's hitch it up to the cart.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you hitch it up to the cart, and you, I assume, continue on your way with this new feather.
Well, I
Yeah.
think we're going to have to calm down the other horsey first. Its partner just got
Yeah.
eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, that horse might be a bit spooked at the moment.
I
It
guess
has
I'll
a
get
new
out of the
friend.
car.
There you go.
Do we
Well,
need
you
to
might
do
want to give it some pets.
animal handling since I don't have to speak with animals?
Sure, Curio just did that, and with a 21, you're able to get it calmed down.
It has a new
Beautiful.
friend.
Beautiful.
How many horse patches do we have? I forget.
One now.
We only had
One
2.
more. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why
We
I was
started
like,
with
don't
2.
let him eat both, because I don't want to use them both. We might need that
Yeah.
other one later, especially because they're a riding horse, which means someone can just jump on its back and go.
Mm-hmm.
In theory.
All right, so
Couldn't
you
you
managed
technically
to
ride a
calm
draft
the
horse?
You could, but it would be bareback. Well, this one has a saddle.
Yeah.
It would be bareback. The riding horse has saddlebags and everything on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came with everything.
Yep. It comes with the barding and everything.
So it would be more difficult to just ride one of these horses as opposed to
Makes
the
sense.
one in the patch. All right. So you guys continue on your way. New horse pulling you. And it's starting to get later into the evening. Probably starting to get dark soon. when another bird
Another crow.
yes, another crow approaches, and where is it? Starts heading your way,
Excuse me,
and
sorry.
you're actually kind of in front of it, and it's coming up from behind, and it actually comes and lands in the back of the wagon,
The wagon.
and
Okay, so it's a carrier bird.
on its back you see a small person. So this is what you see. It's not that big though.
Right, it's just so we can see the
Right.
little person on its back.
And that is where we are going to end it for the day.
Okay.
Yay.
So, we will pick up next time and find out who this young lady is.
How small is this small person?
Well, that's a
That,
crow.
I'm thinking probably like size of our.
Probably like the size of
Scarecrow.
a sprite or a pixie, I'd
Okay.
imagine.
It
I was gonna
it
say
looks
Thumbelina.
it
riding
looks
on the
like a
back of the
pixie.
crow.
It looks like a
Okay.
pixie.
So it's a Thumbelina.
Who is unconscious.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
so we will pick up
And
there and
yes,
find out what's going
Tika
on.
needs to work. I'm assuming
Yay.
Yep.
because she has to leave.
Yep. We're
Yep.
ending.
All right. So, I hope you guys had some fun this time. You
Lilia didn't.
encountered some
Lilia's
boars. Lilia got sick. You found a griffin who ate one of your horses. And
We found a
we'll see
horse.
what adventure awaits us next. So, you wanted to
This
watch
is a day
last
for
week,
using
and
all
now
of
you missed
my,
all
my
of today.
staff charges on speaking with
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah, sorry, Kingo. We were we did not do it last week because too many people weren't able to make it.
Yep.
Yep.
But
I had
tune
building
in
competition
pneumonia.
things
next
last
week.
week, which we did win, by the way.
Say again.
I had
Yeah.
ELU building competition things, which we did win, by the way.
Oh, good.
We got first place.
With your library?
The library and the Disney World setup and like the sunken ship and all
Oh.
the things.
I only actually saw the library, so.
Yep.
Thank
Packed
you.
in a bunch of practice tours in his VOD. So
All right.
So I'm gonna say this so it's on the VOD quickly.
Yep.
I'm going to temporarily leave the ring with Safla until hopefully I feel better.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So yeah, if you have missed anything or if you want to watch this, it will be up on my YouTube channel.
Mine too.
In a few minutes, probably within the next hour.
Same.
So you can watch this entire series there. But for those of you watching live, thank you so much, and I hope y'all enjoyed, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.